Okay, let's head to my favorite series in the first round so far, Phoenix the Lakers. Wow. So the Suns come back and they win game 4, 100-92. The series is tied at 2, like I said before. And the pendulum is swinging all the time in this series. You've got Chris Paul going down with an injury. He was out and he had severe struggles with game 2 and game 3. And then back again in game 4, AD goes down, has a groin strain. Apparently the reports say that he's not going to play for game 5, which the series is a best of 3 now. It's really tense. And I personally think the Suns can actually win this series. A couple of notes from my side from the game. The Lakers' transition defense was shocking. The Suns were able to get out and push the tempo. You can see Chris Paul trying to hurry it up. And even after the Lakers made shots, you have the LeBron alley-oop dunk, which was off the glass, which is an amazing play. The Suns inbound the ball and they get an open 3 and they cut the lead to 1. Stuff like that being smart and being clocked on with the leader, Chris Paul, coming back to not 100%, but back to where he can actually affect the game. I think it's a big problem. Big problem for the Lakers. Other than that, you've got Ayton, 14 and 17. Really good game for him. He's having a really good series. Chris Paul, 18 points, 9 assists. All of the Suns starters were in double figures, as well as Cameron Payne, 13 off the bench. Compare that to the Lakers. LeBron, only starter in double figures. So, thoughts on Suns-Lakers, guys?
So I've obviously got the Lakers. I took them with my first pick. Now, part of it was a projection pick as well, because obviously Lakers were fucking, 7th seed, 8th seed? Well, obviously they went through the play-in, sorry. And after the first game, the storyline was obviously AD being super underperforming, definitely lack of energy because Ayton was grabbing every rebound and AD was the worst big man on the floor. I felt Drummond played better than AD did that game. The one positive from AD was on the defensive end. I felt he guarded Booker really, really well on the defensive end. Now, where we are right now, since we last spoke, is that AD obviously picked up the injury. And from a Lakers perspective, it doesn't feel like defensively, I think they are fine. They kept Suns to 100 points in the last game, which is, I mean, for the NBA where we are right now, 100 points is a fair defensive effort. It seems as though they can't get much going on offense and they aren't making their open threes. And it's not because when you watch the game and there's an open three, okay, cool, that's great. They're missing them. And I need some numbers to back it up. So I was looking at some of the advanced stats for shooting, and the Lakers are shooting the worst percents from open. From 4 to 6 feet from being open, Lakers are shooting the worst percent in the playoffs. So you're hoping that number will jump up a little bit and will even out. But that's one thing that has been going against them. Their 3-point shooters haven't been hitting their open shots, which is obviously what you want. And also, I was looking at the center matchup now because Drummond played 19 minutes and Marc Gasol played 24 minutes, and Marc Gasol played 4 more minutes, but had double Andre Drummond points. So you may see a lot more Gasol in the series now, especially a savvy vet over Ayton. You obviously not same athleticism, but can hopefully use some sort of smarts and have some sort of defensive presence against Ayton. Maybe even if it's just boxing out or creating some sort of mismatch or having to force Ayton to come deeper, because we know Gasol can hit a 3 compared to Drummond. So those are maybe the new wrinkles that maybe Frank Vogel may be implementing to try and limit what Ayton can do. But I'm just worried about Lakers on the offensive end and trying to hit shots. But they are open, but they're just not fucking hitting them.
Are you nervous then?
No. It's going to be
I think the Suns are going to win the series.
It's a Lakers Bucks finals. I mean, sorry for the spoiler, but it's a Lakers Bucks final. Sorry for the spoiler.
Suns are winning this series. I'm
saying Alex, right? To be fair, I don't care. Chelsea won the Champions League. I don't give a shit. All my team's getting knocked out this round. I don't care, Alex, anymore. I genuinely don't care.
We'll change it to a different podcast. We'll change it to
I mean, it's definitely looking a bit ropey. If there's one thing I know, it's never to bet against LeBron. So I don't just based on that, I don't know if I could ever pick the Suns. But I do want to shout out DeAndre Ayton. He has been an absolute animal. Now, granted, AD didn't turn up for game 1, and Ayton just had his way when Drummond's been on the court, when when it's not been AD guarding him, he's averaging 20 and 13. 20 and 13. Like in the regular season, Chris Paul and Booker would get angry at him for like dropping passes and not finishing off plays where they'd done all the work. And, he's not being dominant, but he is doing everything that he needs to contribute to this series. And the other guy that is also contributing in a big way is Jay Crowder. What an amazing pickup! Someone who I thought was really, really key to Miami's run last year. And while he hasn't shot it amazing, his defensive effort in making LeBron work, making AD work is just one of those things you have to behold. Like they've got this long storied battle, DJ Crowder and LeBron, and obviously LeBron's the better player, but he's doing all he can and putting them in a position to win.
Do we think the Lakers are going to be knocked out, guys?
No, I'm going Lakers in 7.
I think if LeBron is out of form, then yes. I think the one thing that on the Lakers side, as Bray said, is that LeBron's been playing well. It's not like obviously AD came up big in games 2 and 3, but LeBron has been at a consistent level throughout the 4 games. So you've got to back LeBron to put the team and just carry them through, even if Davis is out for the rest of the series potentially, because that could well be the case with a groin strain like that. You never know, that could easily be like a week out or something like that. And yeah,
this is it, man. The Chris Paul has knocked out a top tier team in a game 7 before, and it was the San Antonio Spurs. He hit a game winner Florida. He's going to do it again. Chris Paul is going to do it. Phoenix are going to get over the hump.
Like, if AD isn't there, like, I have to give it to the Suns. Like, I'm not saying all out, like, small advantage, but still, small advantage, I'm giving it to the Suns. Because, like you said, as soon as I had Chris Paul picked up an injury, I was like, oh, okay, it's done. Lakers are going to win it. And now he's out. It's going back and forth, man. But I think I'm going small advantage Suns, man.
Great. It's been a great series. I've loved it. I really have. Shout
out to the 2018 draft. Ayton, Young, and some Slovenian guy we're going to talk about a little bit after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a stacked top 3.
Yeah. And, shout out the Kings again for another awful decision.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, can anyone remember the 2? That was the top 5. Can anyone remember the other 2 players in the top 5?
Bagley.
And who went 4th? I won't tell you the team because it's obvious.
Let me guess, it was Magic, right?
No, we picked Palmer after them. You had the 6th pick.
I can't remember.
Triple J.
Wow. He went that early. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.